Good evening, everybody. 7:15. Been out all day. Um, so we had CPI this morning. Came up to resistance and rejected it. Same resistance as we've rejected all week. Um, I mean, if you look at what we have going on, it's just you couldn't be a more clear bull flag, right? That doesn't mean it has to break out directly from here. It's just what it looks like. So eventually, the idea here is we can clear 7,790, and then what you're going to do is target here and here on that clear. I think once we get up here, there's probably a higher low situation, and then we can run it from the higher low up one trend leg. Okay, that's the plan. If our bull flag breaks down, instead we look down here, and that's it. There's nothing else to say. Uh, I don't think these are fun to play because when you actually look at the anatomy of this bull flag, it wasn't just straight up and down. It's like each candle is ridiculously violent, and now we're at the tip of the iceberg, right at the end of it, right in time for PPI. Real quick, since nothing seems to be happening ever, the riot reclaim didn't happen. We got a wick, but it doesn't really do much for us. The mirror reclaim, same thing. We got a wick right to the reclaim level right here, but it still doesn't do much for us. If we get a daily close above this level right here, what will probably happen is it'll come up to like here, and it'll close out like 1090, and you'll think, hey, that's my entry, and it could be if you're willing to use a 960 stop. But what's likely to happen is if we get a daily candle close, it'll open the next day at like -2% or something, and that's your buying opportunity, right? And that's what I'm going to talk about when we get the opportunity, but we haven't gotten it yet. So instead, we just wait for it to consolidate. It's boring and whatever. Real quick, VIX. I think VIX is on its way down. I mentioned this morning that you want to set alert for around 1240. VIX had a nice down day, but we didn't move at all. Typically, what happens is when this starts capitulating, it kind of loosens up the market a little bit, and we can kind of get a move. Even if we swipe these lows, I do believe that VIX is giving us the permission structure to move higher sooner than later. Last thing before I move on here, since we aren't really doing much, is the last thing I want you guys to do is just say, hey, because he drew this arrow up, I know it's going to go up. I don't know that. I know what I need to see to be bullish. I need 7,790 to have a nice close above it. That's what I need. And when I see that, I know that it's very likely to pop, and it's very likely to retrace and give a better entry after the pop. Like, I know these things. That doesn't mean I'm going to get the first move. So don't assume just because I draw an up arrow, it's bullish until the actual bullish thing happens. I'm just telling you that we have a nice setup. So take that for what it is. Last thing is the best thing you can do here is just trade off the 4 hour chart or the 1 hour chart. I mean, if you look at like this, it's much more clear, right? We've made a mess of all of our resistances and supports, no doubt about that. But it's very clear when the 4 hour candles close and there's a 4 hour candle right here, and the next 4 hour candle goes like this and like this. You know what's going to happen, right? So you don't have to, if you zoom in on like the 5 minute candle, like this morning when we're talking about, okay, we rejected here, the day is probably over, which I saw very early in the morning when we rejected. And I said, hey, the range is from up here all the way to down here, and there's going to be a bunch of random candles in between. And like, it didn't disappoint. So if you were long right here at 7,762, it bounced to 68. Then it came down to 60, then it bounced to 69, then it came down to, like, it's just not good trading, right? If you're mixing it up in the middle of the chart, that's on you. But I don't think it's great. The next moves are going to be Riot Long and then Amara Long when they give us those opportunities. We're going to jump in there. Last thing is this is for DH. I don't know if you're watching these videos, DH, but I know you love it. AMD. You are good with your AMD long. The entry was somewhere around here, but you don't need to be entered yet. So there's two things here. The entry is fine. I'm telling everybody if they want a long AMD, you're good. And then I'm saying that I haven't done it yet. Okay. And the reason is because what I try to do is preserve capital because I think that is likely to give a re-entry. So this knife catch I think is good. But I'm hoping during this push that a miner will go harder. I can trim a miner, and then I can use the miner profit to go into AMD, right? So I'm trying to swing other plays profits into this long. That's the idea behind it. I'm trying to give it more time, not because I don't think it's going to work out. I just want to play the higher low with something else, right? That's something I think is more primed. So I give it a little bit more time. I'm not trying to move this, but if you have a bunch of extra capital and you went along, go for it. Let's look at the other stuff. This looks fine. This one's kind of annoying. I had this right here. Maybe we get the pullback we're looking for. The idea was I trimmed it last week right around right here, but I was pretty sure it was going to hit here. Now the idea is I'm not going to chase this long. What I really hope for is a higher low somewhere off here when the ES pulls back, and then we can long that up to like the retest up here, up to around 190. I definitely think they're going to give 190 before the end of the year, but the idea is to chase the higher low or come back for the higher low. I could get Palantired out of this though. That's always possible because I think Palantir is going much higher, but the idea of Palantir is I wanted it to come down. Remember, I trimmed Palantir back here. I want it to come down. Now I want it to come down from up here, but prior, when I trimmed right here, I want it to come down here for a rebuy. Well, now I'm still looking at Palantir, but I need to pull back, right? So I still need, it started to pull back. Looks like it's down 6%. I need it to be down about 15%. If it comes down to like a 15% rebuy, then we can get long Palantir again and take it to like 300. But we need a little bit more meat on the bone before we do that, or the risk reward's just not there for that one. Looks like Netflix is doing fine still. All these things are doing fine. Upstart. Stuff like this is super irritating when it pops and then it drops, but this happens all the time with 1-2s. In fact, we just saw it the other day with Riot. Like did a 1-2 right off earnings, right? So it popped on earnings and it dropped, but really what's happening is it's setting up a 1-2 to go again, right? And the reason you wait for the reclaim is the same reason for AMD. It's because if you wait for the reclaim on here when it comes through here, then you don't have to wait through the chop part, right? Because this could take a long time, but we know when it clears here, it's ready to go. Again, 4-hour candles are your best friend. Sometimes for these type of things, just use a daily candle close. Just literally put it on a daily candle when your daily candle closes well, right? So this is a green candle, but it's not green because how it's opened. It's actually down here. When your daily candle closes above your reclaim level, then you look for a wick the next morning as your entry. It's that easy on the high time frame. So hopefully that helps. People are getting frustrated. I know that. I can see it. I can see it in Substack. I like the comments I get, and people are just kind of like, "Yeah, I'm out of here. Fuck this market." And you know what? I agree with them. Fuck this market. But at the same time, you know what? I don't think anyone's doing any better than me either. Because I can tell you one nice thing about this is no matter how long this shitty fucking market chops sideways, and it does chop sideways, like look at this market. Like look at this Trump presidency. Shit. 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 It will eventually pop. It will eventually go. And what I can promise you is we're not going to be on the wrong side of the market. So my focus when I started this is on high time frame investors. It's people who are more serious about their portfolio. They aren't playing calls and puts necessarily, but they're more serious about like their 401ks and like, should I have money in the market? We are never going to be on the wrong side of the market. We're going to be long when we're supposed to be long, and when things look bad in the high time frame, we're going to either be out in cash or short. So that's what it is. Now I can't tell you how long it takes to do this bullshit. I can't tell you when our plays are going to hit. I can just tell you when they do hit, we are going to be on the right side of the market, and like every single time they've hit thus far, we're going to be profitable. It just sucks holding sideways. I know that. I get frustrated too. I get frustrated as a commentator, to be honest with you. I hate holding sideways. So hopefully PPI will come in and pull us into the station, but maybe it won't. I don't know. CPI didn't do it. Maybe PPI will. It doesn't really matter because you know what we need to do to see it, right? So when you get that, and you'll be back on the right side of the market again. So that's about it, guys. We have no fear of the market topping right now. This is not a topping pattern at all. Even if it went down first, I would think it is a bull trap, rather a bear trap, leading to a bullish push. So let's try to get it towards 8K. Try not to be frustrated that we do one move once every 3 weeks, and we will do the best that we can do just to keep pushing on the way we're going. Okay, guys, take care.